So many of you are struggling with ball first contact. And as a result, you lose the predictability of distance, you lose the predictability of spin rates, you lose the predictability of the launch angle. And this is with all your clubs. I've got a 6-iron, but we'll talk about driver, we'll talk about wedges as well. Now, let me show you what I've got set up here. You can see I've got a little shoelace down here, and then obviously I've got my V1 camera that's going to allow us to really get a close-up view of what impact is going to look like. And you've seen me do this drill. We got an email from an individual to a Newbury to Golf on SiriusXM about this shoelace that we use and how to set it up properly and why it helps so much. Well, first, in the setup position, what I like to do is I like to start with one club head of space. And then what I'm thinking about doing is getting this club to miss this shoelace down here and then strike the ball. Now, if I take my trail arm, my right arm, if I take my trail arm and I straighten that or I flip the wrists, I'm going to hit this shoelace, and the shoelace will blow up, tease, and the shoelace will go all over the place. And the reason why I like this is that when that happens, particularly in the indoor environment, I'm pretty much not going to hurt myself. Now, I've done this enough to know that, you know what, I can do this and I'm not going to hit the shoelace. But for you, what I would suggest is if you're working on this indoors, what I would do is, Gibbsy, go back to that close-up shot if you would. No, the 7, sorry. What I would do is I would remove the tees. So remove both of those tees and just put the shoelace down there. We're going to put it one club head in front. And then what you're going to do is we're going to make slow swings. Yeah, we're going to make a slow motion swing. And we're going to miss that shoelace and strike the ball. Now, when you go into a slow motion swing, what you do is you start to feel, you become much more sensitive to when certain parts of your body are acting appropriately or inappropriately. So if I take this and I extend my arm, my trail arm, on this side of the shoelace, now all of a sudden I'm going to hit the shoelace. When I extend my arm on this side of the shoelace, now I'm going to be fine. So what you do is you go slow motion, measure at one club head, and now we're going to go slow motion and feel the push of that arm down there to the point where that one actually came off the club. Same thing again. And one more time before I start speeding this up and then doing some other maneuvers. So one club head. Okay. And now I've started to develop confidence in when that arm is straightening out. And the shoelace staying there lets me know I'm doing a pretty good job. Now, I have this advantage of having the V1 system in the studio here, so I can record this. So I set it up one club head in front. Now I'm going to go over here. And there's a good shot. Pull that shot full if you could, Gibbsy. There's a shot of what we've got going on. And it's dark because I've got the frame rate up pretty high. The shutter speed is up pretty high. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to record this. And when I hit this, we'll go back and play it after. So that one there had a ball speed of 121 miles an hour, which is fast for me. And this is what's going to allow you to improve your game and increase speed, is understanding when you're straightening out that arm and using the shoelace to help you with it. So now we come down into this strike, and you can see the club head now is way up above the ground here. Okay? Now watch. Look at how much higher. That's about over that shoelace right now. That's probably a half an inch off the ground. And there's your strike. So that golf club is in the ground right about there. And that's almost on the front edge of the golf ball. Now watch when we go through a little bit more, you can see how the brushing of that mat happened from that first yellow line all the way up to there. So what ends up happening is that the low point of my swing, which is probably right there, happens after you strike the golf ball. So the low point is after you strike the ball. The other thing that's really interesting to me with this is, and I find this stuff fascinating. Here's the front edge of the golf ball right here. That golf club and the golf ball are not connected. That's probably, I know on the screen it looks like it's about 1.5 inches, but in reality, it's probably about 1/2 inch. So that club is only striking that ball, and they're in contact for a very, very short period of time. With a driver, from what I understand, it's about 5/8 of an inch. So it's not a long period of time that the two, the club and the golf ball, are connected. So what you get is you get this strike, and then you get a slight deflection downward, and that sends the club down and then into the mat right there. You can see how now it's kind of down, towing down into the ground. Now, let me show you something else. When this club comes into the strike, so I'm going to just draw a line here. I'm going to go back one, so it's gone to there. And so the club would probably be somewhere in this line right there. That's about right. So that's right there, about a 14. That one there is probably less than that. That first one is 14. And that right there is about a 11. That's an 11-degree shaft lean. So what you understand is that in order for you to get the ball and miss the tee, there has to be a lean in the shaft, which is why that golf ball's launch angle was about 16 degrees. Okay? So let me go back over to here. I'll close that up. So what you're doing in order for you to miss this shoelace is you have to have a shaft lean right here. Well, if I straighten my arm back here or I throw my wrist angle, I'm not going to get a shaft lean because I'm putting all this energy into a flip of the club right there, which is one of the reasons why your glove will get a wear out in the palm. And so what you want to feel is your arm staying bent and then pushing on this side of that shoelace, okay? Now, for those of you that are better than that, now we're going to go at about 1/2 of a club. Yeah, this one's tight. We're going to videotape this. This is going to be fun. I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of looking forward to this. So let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. And then we'll go. So this is for the experts, okay? Okay, so that one there, I launched it a little bit to the right, 16 degrees launch angle. Now, let's see how I did. We know the shoelace is still in the ground there, so I didn't hit it. But let's see what we get as this club comes down. That is such a good shot. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to brighten this up for everybody. So let's do this. Let me get rid of this. Take that. Go like that. And now I'm going to brighten this up again. So there you go. Let me see if I go one more brighten here. Yeah, that's a little too much. So I'm going to take that last one out. So there you can see it. That club just before the golf ball. I'm with you. The face is a little open. That's why that thing curved out to the right. Started 3 degrees to the right, had a little bit of right spin. That club face is open. I get it. I didn't want to, but my point is, that was tight, 1/2 a club, and right before the golf ball, I'm going to say 1/2 inch. That golf ball there was 1/2 a club, so that was probably 1.5 inches. So that's probably less than 1 inch. That's probably like 3/4 of an inch before the ball. That club right there is above the ground by about 1/4 of an inch. Now it strikes the ball, and now it's digging down into the ground. Let me erase this, and let me take this and brighten this up even more over here. So I'm going to go from here to here and brighten this up over to there. Now go back. You can see that right there, this club is actually lower than right there. You see that? And look at the blurring of the mat. So that mat started to blur right there, which means it got moved right there to right there. Now, let's go back to where the ball was. Look at where the ball is. The ball's right back here. So then I strike it. It catches the mat there about 3 inches in front. It digs down about 4 or 5 inches. And I had that with an open face. So wonderful, wonderful drill to assist you with getting that proper ball first strike. Now, here's the fun part, okay? This is good with every club. All your irons, everything that's iron, everything that's short. This is a pitch. Same thing. This is when you're trying to hit the ball first. Get in here like this. Same thing again. You got that shot? Yeah, beautiful. Here we go. And now what you're seeing is, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for record. I'm having such a good time. I'm going to record this one just so you can see how this is going to work with just a little pitch. That one there went about 30 yards. Here we go. Now this club is moving a little slower, so I got a better chance, I think, of showing the ball first strike. Right? Here we go. There it is. Look at how high that club head is above the ground. It's well over that shoestring, that shoelace, and I was a club head in front. So now, look at that. That's almost above the ground. Now we're in the mat. Now we're way in the mat down there. Boom, boom. So good. So good. All right, look, here's what I want you to do. What I want you to do is I want you to get that shoelace. And what I want you to do is I want you to work on this with all of your iron clubs. 6-iron, sand wedge, whatever. And as you get more and more comfortable, what I want you to do is I want you to speed up. So you're going to go slowly at first, and then you're going to speed up. And then when you get comfortable speeding up, then you're going to move that golf ball a little bit closer to that shoelace. And as you get to a point where you're a half a club head in front of that shoelace and you're not hitting it, that's when you're going to really create that ball first strike. I'm telling you, if there's one thing you do this year, it's do this drill. Now I'm going to show you how the shoelace can help improve all facets of your game later on as we start sharing more information. But what I would urge you to do, tell your friends about this. Let them know about this. Like our channel, follow and subscribe, and we will keep you up to date on all the different things that we're doing. Right here is how you're going to be able to play better golf.